Welcome to Breakthrough Success. I am your host, Marc Guberti, CEO and founder of the Content Marketing Plaza, bringing you 3 new episodes each week where I and top-level guests teach you how to take your business to the next level and achieve your breakthrough. Now, if you are an online business owner, one of the ways you can really go to the next level is with funnels. And if you email me, marc@marcguberti.com, and you are not a ClickFunnels member yet, I will create your entire funnel for free. That will be in the show notes. But what are we going to talk about in this episode? Well, it turns out we're also going to talk about funnels because they are so important for business owners who make money through all of their different products, who can really automate that. So when you hear someone who's able to make all this passive money like automatically, it's through funnels. So we're going to talk about funnels in this episode. Today's guest who joins us today, she is a visionary who adds art and creativity to her business approach. She knew she was in love with business as soon as she started her first one at 19 years old, alongside a mentor from SCORE. This sales funnels specialist is extremely passionate about helping other entrepreneurs start or scale a business that is in alignment with the lifestyle that they desire. Today's guest for episode 341 of the Breakthrough Success Podcast is none other than Niajae Wallace. Niajae, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I feel like we needed like a clap or applause after that intro. That was awesome.
Niajae, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show, and I love that you started early. I relate to that. I feel like the earlier you start, the better. If you are someone who did not start early, then the best thing to do is to start now and really go all out on it. So we're going to be talking a lot about funnels. Before that, though, can you just give us some background to how you got into funnels and how your whole journey started?
Oh, of course. So I actually had a brick and mortar business for 5 years, not the one I started at 19, but a little later than that. I had a brick and mortar business for 5 years, and probably about year 2, my business kind of took off like faster than I anticipated. And year 3, I was pretty burnt out, and I was just like, okay, I didn't start a business to work myself to burnout. So what can I do to change this so I'm not exhausted? And, my health was going, like I wasn't getting the proper amount of sleep. I wasn't eating properly. So I became really obsessed with systems. And I learned the difference between owning a business and owning a job. And year 4, I revamped my business to make sure it was operating like a well-oiled machine. And then year 5, I sold it to transition to being fully remote. And I wanted to basically have a business that I can automate and I can scale where there wasn't a cap on how much money I can make. And that's how I got into sales funnels. So when I first started, it was a little fuzzy for me because there's so many programs out there that's like, build a funnel and make all this money. And I didn't have the results that I thought I would have. So I'm like, I want to learn from the source. Like, I want to learn how this funnel thing works. So I worked for ClickFunnels for a year to learn directly from them. And then I went off and did my own thing. And so now, like, I have a good understanding of how it works, and I help other people understand that.
Yeah, and like funnels, I mean, they are that passive income. You see a lot of people use them, and it is certainly a very important skill to harness. I'm wondering, I feel like one of the things that people are confused with funnels right away is how do I create one? How do I even get started? Because there's just so many different steps. Like if you do a free plus shipping for a book like The Wealthy Author, you've got so much more in the back end to actually make your return. So how do you mind map and then go on to create the funnel?
Yeah. So the first thing I do, like you said, is mind map. I reverse engineer the process. So when people come to me and they say, okay, I want a funnel, I'm like, all right, so what do you want this funnel to do? What is the end goal? And we kind of work backwards in that way. So a lot of what I do is, one, helping people understand the value proposition ladder. So there's a lot of people who try to do free plus shipping book offers, but they don't have a value proposition ladder. So you will lose money if you don't have that maybe a high ticket offer later on that you're offering. So people don't necessarily understand that. They just see kind of the first step. So what I do is I help people understand the full journey you want to take the client on. But the first step is definitely mind mapping and reverse engineering.
And that, I mean, it's very important for people to realize there's a lot more to the funnel than on that initial page. I remember Russell Brunson, the guy who created ClickFunnels, he said he would go through people's funnels and buy all their stuff just to see what was on the other side. It wasn't always that he wanted to see the product. It was that he wanted to see like how high these offers went. And it's shocking that, you know, it's the end of some funnels. There's like a $25,000 offer. That's what people are able to scale up to. Now, I mean, I feel like we could all get there someday, but I don't think we should think about that offer right away. I think we should think about, you know, the less expensive, maybe the $47, $4.97, stuff like that, and just get our feet wet. So I think what a lot of people want to do with the funnel is have that passive income, that big thing we've been talking about a lot. So what is the approach to automating all of this so that it keeps producing revenue each month?
Yeah, so definitely building out the funnel. So your different steps. And like you said, having like a low entry point. So it could be a free offer, so some type of lead magnet, or it could be something really inexpensive where people don't think twice about buying it. So a $7 product, a $9.99 product, something that's a really low entry point into your email list. And then you can keep pitching them from there on different products. But as far as automating, definitely online courses, trainings, membership sites, those types of things are really easy to automate. Or if you want to create some type of webinar funnel, as long as you set up an ad to drive traffic to it, once you set it up, it pretty much operates like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and I mean, I like this idea of using ads because like I do a lot of organic promotion. I'm looking into ads. I'm definitely going to be growing my presence a lot more there. My brother knows a lot more about social media advertising than I do. But like with the ads, I mean, if you put $1 in, you get $2 out. That's an ad you want to run all day long. And I know that the rules of advertising seem to keep on changing, especially with news about Facebook lately. So I'm wondering if you could talk about, is there any advice you have for optimizing an ad to perform better? I know stuff can change, but I'm wondering if the foundational pieces would stay intact.
Yeah, so I actually don't do Facebook ads. I have a Facebook ad guy that once the funnel's built out, I send them to them. But organic traffic is really amazing. So I'll kind of veer off of that, being that Facebook ads is not my specialty. Okay. But organic traffic is amazing. The only thing is you have to think about, do I want to take time and reach as many people organically as possible, or do I want to reach a lot of people? So that's why I say, you know, some type of Facebook ad or some type of ad to drive a lot of traffic. I filled like my first mastermind, for example, organically, but it took me a lot of time. So it's kind of, what's that saying? You can't have fast, good, and cheap, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Quality.
So,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's something along those lines. So you want to decide, like, do I want to take the time and build the traffic organically, or do I just want to pay for ads, basically? But I think that testing is most important. Testing. There's a lot of misconception out there right now where people think that one funnel is going to help them scale. One funnel is going to make them 6 figures a month. But it's really important that people understand you have to know your target audience and you have to continue to tweak. So tweaking, like A/B testing. So doing different photos, different copies, testing a video versus just text in your landing page, for example. So trying different things, trying different offers to see what resonates with your specific target audience. And the same thing with ads, you want to set different ad sets and try different photos and different videos to see what's resonating and then scale that.
And it's interesting how Niajae mentioned she just delegates to Facebook ads, because that's something where if you delegate that, you can make a profit if the person's doing a really great job for your Facebook ads. So, I mean, by delegating, that's just one less area for you to master. You can focus more in Niajae's case in funnels. For you, it could just be another area of your business. And I like how you said that not one funnel is going to do it for you. I know that Russell Brunson, like ClickFunnels, like the whole model is like, the slogan is one funnel away, but it does take you a few funnels to reach that one funnel. One of the questions that I do have is that we have multiple offers, like in some cases, multiple training courses, books, stuff like that. How do we promote multiple funnels? Because I feel like with organic, it could be hard to juggle all of them and promote them all evenly. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that. Would it just be a lot of ads or something else?
Yeah, I mean, ads are definitely good, but what I've done, so I have a lot of master classes. Like I have basically like an online course, but it's kind of like a university where I have like multiple classes. So you can kind of pay to just have access to all of it, or you can pay individually. And I think when I first started, I separated everything, but now I just have it all in this one hub of like, these are all Niajae's products all in one place. And so what happens is if someone buys one thing and then they log into my members area, they're like, oh, what is this? And she has this product and this looks interesting. So even if you have multiple products, if you kind of keep it all in one place, I think that that's really beneficial unless they're completely different. So it really depends. So my master classes are all about business, but just different areas. So it makes sense to have it all in one place because somebody may buy my ClickFunnels masterclass, but then they see that I have one on branding yourself online and they're like, you know what, I need that too. But if they're completely different, I would just tell people to kind of be careful with that, because if you spread yourself too thin, it could dilute your results basically. So just really be careful trying to do too many things at one time if the offers are completely different, because you confuse your audience. So like, what is your specialty?
And that is a really great point, to have that hub. One of the things that was a big shock for me was that there were just a few people who, like on my list, like I promote different things. I promote my products. I'm also an affiliate, but I saw that there were multiple people who they would buy multiple of the products. And these are products that they have pretty high prices. Like some of these are $1,000 plus training courses. So if you do offer that hub, even if your courses are like $997, there will be people who buy multiple courses from you, and especially the buyers who they like what you're doing already. It's just putting the offer in front of them in that hub instead of sending out an email every single day about one of your new offers. So I really like the hub idea. One of the questions I do want to address, though, is that some people, they know funnels are great, but they're not seeing the results that they want to see. So what do you believe holds most people back from being able to see great results from their funnels?
Honestly, unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations, because we have so many people. And I want to touch on something. So Russell Brunson has the one funnel away challenge, and it's saying that you're one funnel away from making that big money. When I first started with ClickFunnels, they have a podcast, and the podcast, the guy was saying that he built a funnel every single day, and then eventually one just took off. So by saying one funnel away, it's not saying create one funnel and you're going to scale. It's saying you're one funnel away. So keep tweaking, keep trying, and keep testing different offers. So when people have this expectation of I'm going to build one funnel and make 6 figures a month, it's kind of unrealistic expectations. You can definitely, by all means, make 6 figures a month, but it may not be your first funnel. So it may take 6 funnels. And I shouldn't say funnels, it may take 6 different offers. So 6 different lead magnets, or maybe you try a webinar. The next time you try, a free plus shipping book offer. The next time you try a free web series. So trying different things to see what sticks. And most people try one funnel, and if they don't have the results, they get bummed out. They get discouraged, and then they quit. And they say, oh, funnels don't work. Oh, they work. But you just have to find what works for your offer, the value that you're offering your specific target audience.
And if you just listened or watched this and you heard that someone created one funnel every single day and you're a little overwhelmed about that, one of the things you can do is just create the front part of that funnel and continue to build on the funnel as you get more people into it, because you don't want to spend all this time creating, a funnel with 26 pages and no one else goes beyond the opt-in page. So you can wait for your audience to say, hey, we like this, before you go deeper into the funnel creation.
Yeah, and cloning funnels. So like you can clone the funnel and then just try a different offer, try a different photo, so it doesn't have to be creating whole funnels every day. I don't mean that. That'll probably stress people out. But just knowing that you have to test and you have to tweak and, try different photos, try different copies, try a different color scheme, and see what has the best results. See where people are dropping off. Like, okay, maybe I need to put a page in between the thank you page and like the order page. Maybe you need a sales page that has a video on it to get them to go to the next step. So really being open to that process of understanding what your target audience specifically wants.
And I mean, being able to clone that funnel, something that ClickFunnels allows you to do very easily. I also use Optimized Press, but cloning a funnel is not nearly as easy on Optimized Press as it is on ClickFunnels. It's much easier through that way. And then it's just easier for you to create funnel after funnel once you have the first one really down. I mean, I'm also wondering if we could talk a little bit about habits, because habits I feel like are essential for anyone's success. So I'm wondering if you could share with us some of your habits you've developed that you would say are pretty important for your success.
Yeah, just in general or related to funnels?
Maybe if we can mix in both, depending on how many you want to share.
Yeah, so I would just say, like, work on your craft every day. So whatever your skill is, whatever your gift is, whatever it is that you are offering to your audience, work on it every single day. One of the most powerful things that I heard recently at the 10X Growth Con, John Maxwell said, I write every single day. I have 86 books, but it's because I write every single day. And some people don't have 3 books, let alone 86. Some people don't have 1 book, but he writes every single day. He says his birthday, he writes. Christmas, he writes. If he's sick, he writes. So work on your craft every single day and quiet the noise. There's so many courses out there of people, naming all kind of numbers and saying, oh, you can copy my one funnel and you're going to make 7-8 figures, right, in 60 days. Like, just quiet the noise and don't feed into a lot of that. There's so much possibility with sales funnels, but you have to understand how they work. And if you don't want to take the time to understand how they work, then work with someone who does, but someone genuine who does, who understands and will help you craft something that's going to work for you, because one size fits all funnel does not exist. There's not one funnel that's going to work for everyone over every niche. And as far as like other habits that are not related to funnels, I would say meditate, because there's so much, everyone's attached to their phones all day and there's so much noise. It kind of goes into the noise, quiet the noise. But I meditate every single day. I focus on my gratitude every single day, and I don't lose sight of my why, which is really, really important. Don't lose sight of what you're trying to do in this world, the impact you're trying to have, and hold on to that. So if you have to remind yourself every single day why you are doing what you're doing, definitely do that, because it's going to drive you even when things get difficult.
Niajae, I love that level of focus, and it's very obvious that focus would be the main part of it's the root habit based on what I heard, because you're focused on your funnel, you're focused on tweaking it, you're focused on also treating yourself right with the gratitude, with the meditation. People forget to do that whole self-care thing. So those are certainly some really great habits. Another habit is to learn every day. That is something I recommend. So with that in mind, I'm wondering if you could share with us one book you think would have a positive impact on us.
Oh my goodness, one book. Let me see. Well, if you haven't read Russell Brunson's books, definitely. .com Secrets, Expert Secrets. But I would say The Big Leap is probably the most recent book that I read that I feel like everyone should read. The Big Leap talks about your upper limit, so that glass ceiling of how successful you think you can become. And we all have that limit of how much we think we can accomplish, and breaking through that glass ceiling, figuring out what your area of genius is and going for it, taking action, not letting anything stop you. So he discussed different things that people's upper limits, like there's a bunch of different things, but how to get past them. It's a really, really powerful book that I highly recommend.
Niajae, thank you for sharing that book recommendation. Actually, several of them, but they will be in the show notes, marcguberti.com/E341. We'll also throw in the wealthy author as well in that show notes section. And before we wrap up this episode, Niajae, I've asked you several questions throughout our time together, but what do you believe is one question we need to be asking ourselves more often?
Asking ourselves, what can I do today to get me closer to my goals and dreams every day? How could I be better than what I was yesterday? Yeah, keep growing. Yeah.
Great questions. I feel like if we ask ourselves questions like those that incite growth, that get us closer to where we want to go, we're going to hit that goal eventually. So I appreciate those questions and all of your great insights you shared. I know we talked about you being a funnel specialist. We hit a lot of great pearls of wisdom in this time together. So for people who want to learn more about you and learn more from you, where can we find you?
Definitely my website, niajae.com. It's NIAJAE.com. So I'm on every social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, but you can get to everything from my website, and also my podcast, Abundance Hack. You can get to everything from my website.
All right. Yeah, I saw you started a new podcast. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Well, Niajae, it was such a pleasure to have you on the show. I appreciate you sharing all of your resources and all of those insights. So it was such a pleasure to have you on Breakthrough Success.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.